Welcome. Welcome. All right. So before I talk to myself, I just want to make sure that everyone can hear me. But just to pretty much give you guys an idea of what we're doing tonight, I'm not going to speak on any specific talking point. I'm going to be on for roughly about 30 minutes, and I'll just take questions this entire time. Let me know what you're thinking, how you're feeling, thoughts, concerns. Uh, Anything that's raising blood pressure, all that good stuff. So just let me know, and I will do my best to give you my perspective on that. So okay, everybody can hear me. Excellent, excellent. Let's see. What's up, David? This crypto market going to rebound soon? That is. There's a lot of catalysts for that. Not necessarily it rebounding. There's a lot of negative pressure in there, so I wouldn't necessarily say soon. But I do believe that. Well, I know that historically markets trend upward, so I wouldn't say soon. But I know that this is typically as a great opportunity to double down and increase, your bullish positions. So I know the market will rebound, but as far as for timing it, there's way too much random things going on right now to kind of give you like an accurate time frame. But I do believe that we will see all-time highs again. Uh, First question: what's your favorite food? I like pizza, pasta though. For the record, it's very. I never thought I'd get a non-stock or crypto question, so that was definitely mixing it up there. I think we should just DCA. Great point. Great point. Those averages, when you start getting those big spreads in there, it's the best time to do it. It's the best time to do it. Improve my position every dip. Yeah, just be careful. Make sure there's a big spread in there so that you're not. It's not like a small, like 2% or 4% or stuff like that. So just make sure it's a spread. Unless you're just really long term and you want coin count. But if you're trying to move that DCA, just make sure there's a decent spread in there, or you're coming in with a lot of money. I hope this market goes a hell of a lot lower. Yeah, you're like me. I wouldn't mind it going through the floor. I like picking up assets and stuff like that at really, really good prices. So you're like me. I don't mind it going through the floor. I have been praying for this bounce back down. Got my chance to buy in the 12. Smart, smart. That's what. Hey, you start buying in at those support levels when it bounces back up off of that, or once you start getting like a positive catalyst. That's how you pretty much get to hold the majority of your position in the green. So yeah, very smart move. Let's see. Hold on. How you feel about Chronos? I have to look it up. I'm not. Assuming that's a crypto. I'm not familiar with it. Let's see. DCA, Dogecoin Army, or or dollar cost average. That I never broke it down like that. That's creative. Hello, David, and thank you. Doge One Moon landing going to be April 1st. I don't know. I actually have to look into that. I haven't looked at it in like a few weeks actually, because I know there's been like a lot of misinformation going out there as far as for around when this was supposed to happen. So I need to verify that, but I haven't. I know. Speaking on like the rumor that it was like going to be like October or something like that, I haven't personally seen any evidence of that. From the what I saw a while back, it was supposed to be sometime in March, but don't quote me. I'll have to get like some verification on that, but I'm really not sure. And I don't want to say anything concrete without being 100% sure. Chronos got some good barbecue ribs. Oh, wait. Oh, it's a restaurant. Okay, I thought you were talking about crypto or something. Wow, that's shameful. Okay. Let's see. You listen to the Sheeb AMA? I don't. I don't. Yeah, you feel free to enlighten me if I can look. I'll take a look at it if that's a catalyst or something for Sheeb. Yes, all is well. Thank you. I was hoping for 6 cents. Well, we haven't, 12 cents is holding up better than I anticipated, but it does not mean that we've actually bottomed out. So you have to understand that we've came like these corrections and us testing these resistance lines. This is the market reacting or a form of like pricing in some of the things that can potentially happen, right? We have fear and futures and stuff like that goes down because of the likelihood of there being a war with Russia and Ukraine. There's the likelihood of this severe rate hike and interest next month, and which will tighten the flow of money and stuff like that. So none of these things have actually happened yet. So it's not to say that we can't actually get a breakdown to the downside. So, but 12 has been holding up really great. And I think we're going to have to need something really major to get down to around 6 cents. Because I honestly think that between 8 and 10 cents, you have the potential for the brakes to be pumped based off of buying pressure and stuff. So I think that, anything around 12, or especially if we break down lower, I think that a lot of times people that have been holding for a while, they're going to see that, because if your DCA is 40 cents or 30 cents and you're able to buy at 10 cents, even if you hate the coin now, you can bring your DCA down really, really low and lessen the blow if you want to exit, or simply just wait for the next spike, even if it's just back to 13, and actually make a profit and exit the coin without losing any money. So that's one of the reasons why if we do break this resistance line, you can expect there to be some buying pressure really strong on the way down to 6. So we need something major. But I did give the 6 number because that is the actual level of support that we have. So even 12 cents, that's not necessarily a support level we had before, but I was just able to call it just by doing averages that other coins corrected to. And I just applied that to Dogecoin and figured we'd have a similar reaction. And it just so happened to work out. But 6 is our actual, it's an actual level of support. Let's see. I'm long on crypto, so not worried there. DCA as we go. I came in at 48, so I had a long way to go, but I'm good now. AMC though, where do you think what do you think of where they're at? I think AMC, I think we're going to see a move here in the next couple of months. I still have my AMC shares. Even with a lot of the information, investigations and stuff coming out, I'm still bullish. I think that, where there's smoke, there's fire. So I think that especially as we start tightening, as the Fed start tightening the money supply and stuff next month, I think that's just going to further illuminate a lot of the fraud and BS that's been going on in the market. So I'm very bullish on AMC. Still have my shares. Let's see, why aren't we seeing a value rise in collectibles like we are in Walmart products? What do you mean by collectibles? Are you referring to NFTs? Can you just specify that before I don't want to miss it and go into way into left field. Still think we'll see $20,000 BTC? Absolutely. I have not changed any of my numbers. It's one of the reasons I wrote my post in the community section when the rejection happened at I think 39, and then you got a positive catalyst and it ran up to 44. It was oh my God, you're wrong, to the moon, all this kind of stuff. Do not get baited in with these green candles. I'm telling you, this has been happening for 30 or so years. There's a reason why you have these bull traps and all this kind of stuff like that. Do not let these green candles fool you when you know the major catalysts that are in the market. Until that changes, you are not going to based off of what the Feds may do next month, the entire flow of our financial market can change like that. You are not going to get a bull run with that kind of uncertainty. Don't get sucked into that BS of those green candles. Like, do not. This is not even like an in-depth TA. This is just like a common, almost like a common sense analysis. Like, they're going to try and bait people in there because they obviously need to pull liquidity just in case. So you'll see these spikes to bait additional capital in there so that they can sell. It's almost like, they sell from the floor, pause it for a little while, pump them back in there, bait it back up, so they're able to sell. It's still setting higher lows, but they'll bait it back up. Let's take a look at BTC, because it almost looked like it was going to do a trend reversal. Even the numbers came out. It was still relatively close. What am I doing here? It was still relatively close, but because we were looking at 44,183, and technically we were right there. Everything above it was rejections, but we were like right there, and then we got the breakdown to the downside again. So outside of that, you can anticipate from at that point, you can say, oh, okay, well, this may be a bullish pattern, but all the candles that spiked above it were rejections. So, and again, I'm not going to change my analysis until I see some, I'm not going to change my analysis until I see some concrete evidence that the market is going to change around, or that the elephant in the room is no longer the case. And again, the Feds may be light coming in next month, just by the way that Powell is BSing and not giving us numbers. That lets me know that he's very fearful of what the market is going to respond, how the market is going to respond to him. So I think that he may even come in with like a 0.25% next month, and we may not see. It's possible that we may not see that big drop next month because he's afraid, and he may just do that 0.25%, and then the next one that's going to be like a 0.5% or something like that. But we have 7 more Fed meetings this year. So with the potential, Bank of America, I think JP Morgan, they all believe that we're going to get a hike in interest rates at each of these meetings. So they're all calling between 7 and 9 interest rate hikes. So we don't know. Obviously, that's just hearsay for now, but that is huge depending on how inflation reacts to these interest hikes. So all the catalysts are there for us still to get that break to the downside. Let's see. Oh, no, it's Crowcoin. New name is Krona. Oh, hell, I didn't know that. Yeah, see. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was a restaurant. I was like, what? Okay, wow. Definitely shameful. Let's see, they just had it was a sheep meeting with the community live, ended about 10 minutes ago with the development team. Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with what was discussed, and I didn't catch that. Because I heard, well, at least some people that come on my channel, they'll message me and say, she was making some adjustments or some stuff like that. But I haven't personally looked into it to give a yay or nay opinion on it. But I will say that Sheeb has a large community, and just looking at it from a chart technical standpoint, it's not in a bad position. So it's hanging on to the levels that it needs to in order to make a comeback. So, but I have to look into whatever was discussed in that meeting. So I want to just throw a random opinion out there, but I didn't have a chance to check it out. Let's see, second on the Doge burger. Hearing more about restaurants open up supports Doge really does help it reach its true intended purpose. Absolutely. Absolutely. You might have mentioned this before, but why the F didn't Doge get in a new all-time high or close when BTC or ETH, etc., did back in November? So I did mention this before. I did a whole video on this. I'll do a brief recap, but if you are looking for the long version, you can check out. It's called, I think it's called, they didn't expect Doge, the anomaly. I made a video on about 2 days ago. And so I just was pretty much pointing out the fact that most of the money that flows into the market is not our money, right? We typically will, the smart investors, if you look at my flow of wealth chart, the smart or experienced investors, they'll typically get in before the new wave of institutional money, right? So, but that's going to be very few people. Most people are going to need to see the green candles first. So when that money comes in, that's institutional money. And this sounds unrelated, but I'm going somewhere, I promise. So with Dogecoin, Dogecoin wasn't expected as far as for last year to literally become like a top 10 crypto, and the support it got, the press it got, the expansion in the crypto market that happened because of it, completely unexpected. You couldn't chart it, no way of knowing it was coming. So typically with like that, institutions, they're not going to, because you don't know what the coin is going to become, and you're not going to let the opportunity to make money from it pass you by as well. So typically, in my opinion, I believe that they jumped into it and pumped it as well. And of course, with the SNL and the whole situation, panic and stuff like that, they took profits from it. And now, because of the support that and where people want Dogecoin to go, Dogecoin is viewed as, it's not, I want to say it's not, they're still trying to attach that meme stigma to it. And that's why like you have like a lot of hate and stuff towards the actual coin. That's why whenever there's a catalyst and Dogecoin hits like 20 cents or 22 cents, you'll see shorts come out of nowhere and trying to hammer the coin back down to try and kill the momentum on the coin. You can see evidence of that on the last two runs. I'm going to point this out here. My computer is slow. So you can see evidence in the last two runs right here where we peaked over 20 cents. And these long wicks, these are ejections. And I did a poll on the shorts here for this when we had the Tesla merch announcement, which was this last one here. Shorts came out of nowhere, big candles for shorts to kill the coin. So when we, so with Doge not necessarily being like an approved institutional favorite, and with it being more of like a people's coin, they're not going to, they necessarily don't really want to support it like they would like a Bitcoin or an Ethereum, which are like the face and the chosen one of the crypto market. So to be honest, to be blunt and to be honest with you, in my opinion, I believe they want Dogecoin to go away. But because of the support and stuff that's there and the expanding utility and stuff like that, it's not saying that they're not going to come back into it, because obviously it's still getting a reaction when Bitcoin and Ethereum rally, but it's just not as strong. It's just letting me know that it's still on their radar, but we're ultimately going to have to wait until the next bull run to kind of see the sinkage between a Bitcoin and a Dogecoin, because you have like your sliding scale. This is pretty much what I believe works. If that, let's just say, because you know that when a bull run happens, you'll see the top 10 cryptos, they'll do an identical pattern, right? And you'll say, okay, well, how is this possible for them to do this chart the same way at the same exact time? So my only theory for this is, let's say they have $100 billion, let's just say $100 million to put into the market. Obviously, your heavy hitters, Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're going to get the highest amount of allocation. But all of the coins that they're bullish in, or at least interested in, they're going to get some money, which will explain typically the rises and falls at the same time. I believe they take profits at the same way. So as for Dogecoin, I just believe it got a lesser amount of allocation from institutions back during this time frame when you had like that short run up. Now, it's not saying that they're not like interested and stuff like that, but when we think about the crypto market for what it actually is, we want to make sure that Dogecoin is being built on the right purposes and not just for like hype or simply institutions pumping the coin just simply to do what we've seen with Bitcoin and stuff like that. Because we have to remember, November was nice, but what happened in December 2nd and 3rd? And I want to say like the week before Christmas, I know second and third was a big one. We saw that vacuum of money right back out of the market. So we just have to, just really just be careful. But Dogecoin still gets like its reactions, and I did a video on it, like why it corrected first and stuff like that. But those two videos are up. I did them like 48 hours ago. I want to dive too deep into it here, but in a gist of it, I just believe it was lesser allocation of money, just for the reasons of what Dogecoin and stuff represents. I don't believe that. I believe Dogecoin was the anomaly and it wasn't planned for. So, but those videos are up. They're, I think, between 10 and 15 minutes, and I think a deeper dive into it. But that's the gist of it. Okay, so let me catch up here. Let's see. It's more holders of Doge than BTC. That's a fact. And also the amount of money and stuff that's in there. So, well, the amount of money that's invested per holder as well. So, a coin will be a lot more volatile when the person isn't loaded with cash. So, typically, you'll be a lot more easy to panic. Let's see. David, considering you believe BTC will go to around 20,000, where do you think Doge will be during that same time period? It really just depends on the buying pressure. I do believe that if we have the catalyst, I think that because the 6 cents is the after that is literally the support. But I think that with the buying pressure, we can probably pump the brakes at around like 8 to 10 cents during that time frame. And it's not saying that we'll go there and stay there, because I'll be buying Bitcoin. I'm anticipating once Bitcoin gets into the 20s, I'll start accumulating. So that's not, and I'm sure some people probably feel the same way, even with Dogecoin, once it breaks below 12, because I'm certainly, if it goes to 6, I'm going crazy. But certainly below 12, I'll amp up my investments as well. But you just have to have like that time frame that you think that, well, this really just depends on your coin count too. If you're happy with your coin count, if you're trying to average down, it's not a group thing. You really just kind of have to play it based off of your already existing portfolio. Because with Bitcoin, I'm still technically, because I bought some at higher than 20,000 for sure, but I still technically just be increasing my position. Dogecoin, it doesn't matter what I do, I'm going to be averaging up. So, and with the amount of Dogecoin I have, I'm happy. So I'm not, just simply anytime it dips a penny or so, I'm not like jumping in like, oh, buy the dip, because I practice what I preach when I say the spreads. So I think that Doge, we're looking at probably 8 to 10 if the buying pressure is strong. But 6 is that's our actual support level. So with the 8 to 10, I'm doing the same thing I did with the 12. Not necessarily evidence that you can chart, but it is where I believe buying pressure can kind of, I guess you can say, catch it as it's falling, just simply from the people believing that it is oversold at that point or just undervalued. And not to mention, we do have a big catalyst coming up next month as well. So that will be, depending on how aggressive we are, that'll be a great opportunity for us to probably raise up off of this 13 cents level too. And hopefully we can go up and test that 21, 22 cents level, just because I want to have a third shot at it to see how shorts react. Because I find it really interesting that anytime we break 20, shorts get panicked. They literally get aggressive. So I want a third shot at that level just to see how they act. Let's see. Do you think Dogecoin will get to $1,000? I do not. Not without a serious blockchain. Like it takes some serious redevelopments. Other than that, it'll be mathematically impossible unless we're like in a hyperinflation or something. Let's see. With all the talk about Doge, I don't know how it hasn't hit above $1. That's a lot of reasons though, but you'll be surprised. Even like I said with the shorts and stuff like that, you'll be surprised how many people don't want Dogecoin to succeed. It's very, very interesting. So I'll be keeping an eye on it for our next time to test. Hopefully, we can do it with the AMC announcement next month, because Adam said we're still on track to have our our integration for Dogecoin with AMC. So I'm hoping, I don't like hype, but I'm hoping we can come up and test that level again, because I really want to see, what's going on with as far as with these levels here, because we have a few points before we actually have that breakout to go test our all-time high. And the first one, which is just developed here recently in the last few months, is that 21.22 level. So I want to test it again. But it's a lot of people don't want Dogecoin to succeed. We can find evidence of that. So will we ever be able to beat shorts when it runs up, or will we always get rejected? No, you can beat shorts. Typically you'll hear things about like shorts or this stock or what this crypto costs shorts, X amount of money. Because think about it, is when you're short or if you're borrowing on margin and you have to cover that, you have the potential to like literally get like killed. So typically what will happen is you're already at that point, you don't have a choice but to keep growing the position to better offset the potential for you to lose money. So we just need the utility, and of course we can capitalize off of a catalyst or a hype or something like that to run the numbers up. But it just really, we're just going to have to take the utility for the coin and ultimately just remove some of the surplus that's from the market, so that they can't, dump some in there and cause a price to go down, or just short it and cause a panic and get people to start selling. Because that'll be like my biggest issue going forward. If, let's say, we do get that breakdown to below 12, let's say we break that resistance level, go to like 10 cents, go up to around 22, 23, start getting some downward pressure, people panic, say, hell, you know what? I'm up 100%, I'm out. And then typically that's how you have those issues there. So it really just depends on, I think with the right catalyst and a lot of the things that we have coming up this year, we can certainly build the momentum to go up. But ultimately, I'll have a better idea of this around the AMC integration next month, because I know there's a lot of other things that play into the market outside of our utility right now, because there's a lot of big macro things going on. But I don't think that shorts recently, not recently, but historically, they've been able to do that with a few positions. But normally, if the community is big enough, they can't hold it down forever, and they haven't been able to. You see what's happened with AMC and GameStop. So if the community is big enough, they can put pressure on shorts. That's for sure. Let's see. A few years ago, I read a post saying that inflation would be good for Dogecoin and it would push it over $1. Any opinion? Technically, they're not wrong. However, I think that when we look at information like that, we have to look at the complete picture, right? So there's a difference between price and value, right? So if we have inflation and we have to make sure Dogecoin goes over $1 because of utility or just simply because of the community expanding. We don't want inflation to be the reason that Dogecoin goes over $1, because what that means is we're in trouble as a whole, and the dollar's price is falling so quickly, the inflation is actually greater than Dogecoin. So now Dogecoin at that point, which is technically it's going to happen anyway with the trajectory that we're on, but at that point, Dogecoin is a more stable and secure investment than the dollar. So now we have, yes, price wise, it's great, but value, we're going to, especially if we're going to be converting it back into dollars, value is going to be another question. So at that point, you're definitely going to want to have utility in Dogecoin, because you'll come out better just spending and doing your exchanges in the actual coin. Technically speaking, they're not wrong, but you do have to have that conversation between the whole price versus value thing, because the dollar amount can look great, but what you're actually getting for it can be another story. So, sorry, I'm just gonna scroll down here. Could it be possible that every time a whale buys in, the Fed offsets it by pulling off more Fed funny money? I mean, I don't think it's down to a T like that, but the money that's coming in from like the Feds and stuff like that, it's kind of like already predetermined. It's not, they don't necessarily do it on a whim. So I don't want to say it's down to a T like that, but as far as for the money that's being injected, that typically gets decided, ahead of time, how much and for how long, and they kind of just reevaluate it as they go. So I don't want to, I don't, it doesn't work on a whim like that, at least not to my knowledge. So click the like button. Yeah, definitely. I don't know how many likes we got, but definitely like the video, share the video, subscribe. I know I said I was going to do 30 minutes. I'll stay on a little longer, take some more questions. So wait, I just got here. Start over. Thank you. Let's see. The like button is here. Thank you, the like button. I appreciate you. Let's see. Be warned, Google, YouTube, census, chat. Oh, wow. Started streaming 30 minutes ago. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I said I was going to be on 30 minutes, so I'll stay on a little longer. So just so we can get some more questions. You guys have been doing great though with these questions, so it just lets me know where everybody's thoughts are at. So glad to catch your chat. Thanks for your videos. Your info is legit. I appreciate you, Jason. Thank you. Burn about 80% of Doge at $1,000. Yeah, we got to do a burn or something. Definitely a burn, because mathematically the numbers don't add up. Let's see. Yeah, so I think that once we kind of have an idea of what to expect over like the next month or so, we'll have an idea ultimately on what kind of year we're going to have. So I think that, in my opinion, that's one of the reasons why I said that. Just make sure that you have some funds available, and just start spreading out your DCA on some of the coins that you're interested in or want to go long on, so that you are putting yourself in position to capitalize off of potential dip. It may not necessarily go down to any of those levels. They can come out and be like, hey, you know what? Inflation and everything's working out. Putin may not do anything. A lot of the fear leaves the market and it goes up. So that's just one of the things of giving yourself the opportunity to capitalize off of those investments if they break lower, but you're also buying a little here and there so that you have the exposure and ultimately increasing your coin count, because nobody can time the market. Jerome Powell has a tight seal on his lips. I have no idea what's going to happen next month or how the market's going to react. They had the opportunity to give us it ahead of time so we could price it in. That they chose for that not to be the case. So we'll see what's going to happen with our foreign affairs. Don't know the reaction of that. So we're just going to have to kind of make sure that we're prepared. And what's one of the reasons why we look at the macro here as well, and not just the micro. Let's see, if it goes wrong with the Fed, do you see a 4-cent Dogecoin? That would be a major sell-off. That would be a major panic by a retail sector. And honestly, if Doge broke the 6 cents without a strong rejection and bounce back up, that would be very alarming for me. And that puts Doge literally at almost a full retracement, which is also it's swinging out of the historical ranges of like that 50 to 80%, sometimes 90% extreme correction. That's very alarming. So that puts Doge at literally a full retracement. So that's going to cause for a much deeper evaluation. So So at that point, if the community is panicked like that, then at that point, it'll be rough. For the 4 cents, yeah, I don't know. They'll probably, if the community is broken apart, like, because the coin won't survive without community. So if the community is broken apart like that, it'll probably be over. I don't know. So 4 cents is a terrible, terrible. That's literally threatening a full retracement. That is like not life threatening, but that's definitely a potential to kill a coin there. So that'll be like the absolute worst thing to happen. What do I think about Ethereum? No, I like Ethereum. I think Ethereum is great long term. I think it's a part of like I think investing in like Bitcoin, Ethereum, it will be like a hedge against any of the coins with like the wilder swings, or they're not going to get some of the higher injections of funds. I think investing in like top 3, top 2 coins is the equivalent. They're basically like the stock market S&P 500. So I think that I think Ethereum will do well. I don't think it'll always be number 2. But I think it'll be number 10. I do think Ethereum will kind of fall down later on, but that's a separate conversation. But I do think Ethereum will do well over the long term. Let's see. Hey, what's your thoughts on if Tesla accept Dogecoin for buying Tesla cars in the future? I think they will. I don't know if it'll. I don't think it's not. I think outside of like publicity and marketing, I don't think it's going to matter that much. But it'll be a great catalyst and segue for Dogecoin as far as it being taken more seriously. But I do believe that they will do it. Let's see. Are you holding until 2025 when the surge to the moon happens, months after Bitcoin halving, as it has in the past, and sell. Yeah, that's one of the things I do have. I'm going over my just looking at cycles. 2024, 2025 is going to be really, really interesting. At least they're projected to be. So as of right now, because I don't have a plan, even with this, unless Doge did something absolutely crazy, I don't have a plan to sell. So even my Bitcoin right now, I don't have a plan to sell. So I'm still like, I do 5-year like minimums, but 2025, depending on how things look, especially when this cycle comes back around, that may be, when I'll pull the trigger on some of that. But as we get closer to that, I'll let you guys know if you guys are still following me then. But I'll share my thoughts and stuff as far as what I'm going to do moving forward. When is the next Fed meeting? March 16th. My DCA is 0.9, but holding all year. Congrats. A great position. Let's see. Big brother D, can we get some Sheeb TA talk? Appreciate my man. Yeah, matter of fact, I haven't looked at Sheeb. Yeah, and I'll look at a few coins if you guys want me to give you my opinion on them. I will. There we go. While I'm here. Let's see. So yeah, so Sheeb is because it was able to catch itself. This is one of the things that when I was a couple months ago, I was stating that Sheeb was in trouble because of these lower highs each time, and because it's pretty much falling. This is the trouble when you have like that gap up. And I was stating that you need. This is like the last. This is like your last call, your last bet at preventing a full retracement. That is where Sheeb needed to catch itself. Well, obviously not here, but obviously just getting like some support in this range over here. So, which is roughly where you are now. So this is one of the things that with Sheeb that arms me is because this line where Sheeb is right now, this is very dangerous. And the catalyst and stuff that we have coming up is very dangerous. So because after this, we have something similar to these. Once you break support levels and you have gaps, whether to either side, typically those gaps get filled. right? There's little opposition on the if you're going up, and the same thing if you're going down. So that is very alarming when you start flirting with this line here. This is like, think of this line as like the edge. And so I was really surprised that, I guess wasn't too far out of realm here, but because it got some rejections here. So it pretty much caught itself. Let's see, yeah, because it was right around these rejections here. So it literally caught itself like at the, think of this like falling off of the edge, but then you see like the movies where they catch with the one hand and they have like the four fingers on the edge and they're able to pull themselves up. That's what Sheep did on this last bounce off of this floor. This is very dangerous position that it's in because, again, if this breaks down here past these rejection points, it's threatening a full retracement. So, so Sheep doesn't need to run, but it does need to build sideways and at bare minimum to build up some support and get a lot of people's entries in there so that it can try and stabilize at this level here, because this level here is dangerous for Sheep. I'm not even going to play with you right now. So, just be careful with that and just kind of, make sure that you are on top of like your entries and stuff like that. But if you're bullish on Sheep, this is certainly not a bad place to have an entry, because after this, obviously it'll be threatening a full retracement. So in the event that it does trend sideways and go back up, this is a terrific entry for someone that is bullish on the coin. So I'd say just kind of keep that in mind while you're making your entries into Dogecoin. Into Shiba. See, if Doge dips below 0.6, then I'd be worried. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Doge dipping below 0.6. That's like what I just said for Sheep. That'll be applying to Doge at that point. So now Doge is hanging on the edge, and we're about a few seconds from everything being all over. So so every coin, every company has that level. So once you get there and you start tap dancing, you start getting a little nervous, especially if you're long. Let's see. Good evening. Where do you see Doge in years to come as an average price? Thank you, David. Excellent question. So with Doge, even with the catalysts and stuff like that, and the potential for the utility and stuff that we do have that we know is in the works, and the ones that we can get, I believe that it's nothing for Doge to like 10 or 20x from where it is now. We just have to make sure that the utility and stuff like that is there so that we can have some stability in the coin. Because once we have stability, we can build up from there. But we're only going to have that when these institutions, when we have this, we're able to pretty much use those coins for its purpose and have this flow so that these institutions are holding wallets with Dogecoin in it. Otherwise, we're just going to have institutions pumping and dumping, and it'll just pretty much swing with the market. And with Doge's inflationary period, it's always going to have a more, it'll always be, the crypto market is wild as it is, but with the amount of Dogecoin, you'll always get a wilder reaction, if that makes sense, especially to the downside. It'll be a lot easier to have those overshoots. So, but I don't see it being like an issue for Doge being a few dollars and stuff like that, as long as we have the utility and stuff like that. So that's why I think that even now we have these coins that, if we do have a breakdown around like 12 cents, 10 cents and stuff like that, it's nothing for, it to be like $1 or something like that in the next few years. And you start getting, next few years, like at worst, just depending on how this year goes, because, hell knows, but you're able to get 10, 15, 20x and stuff like that on a dime. You're able to have a lot of those coins, those coin counts, then the money can really start to add up. So I'm, as long as we have the utility, we're fine. We just have to just be mindful, because I'm not going to put out a video and be like Dogecoin $50, $1,000 and stuff like that. I would address those topics, but you have to understand what it would actually take in order to get there. So, but in the sense that Dogecoin is going to be in the purpose that we think it is, as far as it being used for purchases and stuff, Yeah, I don't see it being an issue that it can 10, 20x from where it is now. I say canceling plans if Doge hit 6 cents. Mr. Me. All right. Thank you, Mr. Me. Let's see. How do you feel about BTTC, the new BTT? Thanks. Let's see here. See if I can pull it up. Oh my. Oh my. Hold on. Let me. All right. Is this the right? Am I looking at the right thing here? Hold on here. Because I'm feeling like it went to. Is this the one that changed to? You said like the BTTC. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right thing here. I'm going to scroll down. Let me know if I'm looking at the right thing before I say anything. Let's see. So I'm looking at your comments here. Big brother D, do she talk? TA talk? I did. Did you miss it? Big light for this man. I appreciate you. They say yes, it has quite a few zeros now, but the old one has fewer zeros. Yeah. Even just looking at this, if this is correct, I don't. This is like I don't. Even just looking at this, I don't know. I'm not sure I fool with this. Because this is very alarming. That's why I wanted to verify before I spoke on it. But I'm not sure how your portfolio is allocated. If you want to have some exposure, because obviously, if you can catch one of these swings, the potential for it to be rewarding is there. But I would just limit my exposure to such coins that have demonstrated activity like this in the past. So, so just kind of keep that in mind going forward. But personally, I wouldn't touch it. That seems like extreme risk to me. Let's see. If you're looking at Doge chart from last January and now it's current, it's almost identical and ready for the bull run soon. Oh, you talking like the mirror image thing? Yeah, I did a TA on that a while back. So if micro, that's one of the reasons that I always talk about micro and macro. So micro, you can see micro is like us doing like the charts and stuff and looking at like hourlies, the days, the weeks, kind of getting an idea, start calling floors. You can do some fib, some moving averages, whatever the case may be. But then macro is to kind of just give you the overall perspective to say, okay, well, is there anything that's preventing it? Because when you chart something, you'll say, okay, theoretically, this is how it's supposed to work out. Then you look at the macro and you say, okay, is there anything? Because knowing what we know as far as for how sensitive and fearful that the market can be, is there anything in the macro that can prevent this from happening or that may influence this from happening? So when we do that, we'll see that there are several issues out there for a potential that can hinder the potential bull run from being what it can be. So we just kind of have to keep that in mind. Because I think that we'll have ultimately a better idea as far as for how the year is going to go after next month. So we really just need those numbers just to see how much money or potential sales that we're going to see to balance these portfolios. we really need those numbers to come in for next month. So I think after that, that's where we're going to get a lot of answers from and kind of be able to better plan this year, excuse me. Let's see, did you see the tweet from Samuel Reed, CEO of GC, saying, I'm one delayed, which means Doge one delayed? No, I did not see that. I did not. In any case, like again, I think that, Doge one, even Tesla accepting Doge for Tesla cars, I think that is great for marketing, but I think that the catalysts that we really, really need to focus on are the ones that give us the opportunity to use Dogecoins for its purpose. So as of right now, it's going to be AMC. We can certainly push to have it break into the fast food industries and stuff like that, but we really have to focus on the coins that's going to give Dogecoin the actual utility. That's where it's going to be the long the long benefits of being into the coin and give us that exposure. Otherwise, we're going to look at something. Otherwise, it puts us into a position where something can happen similar to what we've seen with the Tesla merge announcement, where it's not based off of utility or actual increasing value of the coin. It's just built off of hype and speculation. And then you run up to 21, 22, and then we get stumped out by shorts. So, to prevent that, we're going to have to start focusing more on utility and stuff like that. So, but I didn't see that it was delayed. But in any case, as long as it happens, that's great. But as far as for focus and stuff like that, I look at more of the bigger, well, I guess more tuned catalysts as far as for utility. I say I appreciate it. Have a good night and take it easy. I have to run. All right, have a good night, man. Thank you. What do you think of ADA? I'm long on ADA. I think these are great prices. We are, ADA is one of my larger positions I have, certainly in my top 5. So I'm very bullish on ADA. So I know I don't talk about it much, but when asked about it, I definitely will tell you that it is certainly one of my long-term positions. I'm bullish on ADA for sure. We need Walmart to accept it. Yeah, Walmart definitely will be a big, not even big, like a ginormous opportunity for utility. Like I don't know what else we can ask for. Walmart, it will be an amazing opportunity for Dogecoin, and really just setting the tone and opening up like a really big door as far as for us being able to segue into other revenues or other businesses, institutions to accept Dogecoin. So I wouldn't be mad at Walmart at all for doing that. So that's definitely something. I've tagged them a few times on Twitter. That's definitely something we kind of have to work on if we want to make sure that happens. Delay is normal. I agree. Egg sense that the Doge will be great. I have both in my portfolio. Absolutely. No issues for me on that. I'm excited for that announcement from Adam Aaron. I am excited for it. We need Budweiser to accept Doge. Never thought about an alcoholic. That is, I would be mad at that either. I'll take any utility we can get right now. I'll take any. One of the guys in my past live streams, he said Pornhub or something like that. Like any place that can remove some of the excess coins from the market, I am down for. I have no issues. Amazon, yeah, Amazon's another one. Amazon is another one. I don't know how that will work because I know that Jeff and I know that Dogecoin isn't Elon's coin, but technically it's kind of like Elon's coin. So I don't know Jeff's involvement, that he'll be willing to kind of get involved with that. But if that can happen, absolutely, that'll be a great catalyst. How do you feel about Final Stand videos, the YouTuber? I try not to. I don't want to start any like YouTube, beef or stuff like that. I know there's a lot going on in the communities right now, And I think there's different strokes, different folks, right? Everybody has unique approaches and different ways of analyzing things. So I think that depending on what type of investor you are or what you're looking for, that's going to determine what you ultimately need when you're looking to for a different insight on YouTube, right? So I think that's what most people do. They're gonna, you're in charge of your own portfolio, but you come to YouTube and to get a different perspective. So it really just depends on just what you need. So I run my channel. I do like TA and stuff like that. I don't necessarily. There's very few people that I watch on YouTube though, but just, like, again, I'll just say different strokes for different folks. I'm not gonna say anything like positive or negative to the way, but it's just up to you to decide what you need to get from certain people, or if you want to get anything from them at all. Let's see, y'all get paid to promote Dogecoin. I sure don't. I sure don't. Uh, let's see. Budweiser has tweeted about Doge, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, we'll be mad at Doge. Not Doge. I won't be mad at Budweiser. Certainly can, start running some commercials there. I'm sure the Doge community, those of us that do drink, I think that they'll wouldn't mind supporting their investment. If Starbucks accepted Doge, that'd be amazing too. Yeah, Starbucks is one of the ones that I thought would be a great. Someone said like Dunkin' Donuts, obviously like McDonald's, Burger King has already done some stuff with it. I think it'll be, something that is a large business but is accessible to most people everywhere, at least in the states here. I think that it will, do wonders for Dogecoin's community, and ultimately, once we start knocking down the walls of those first um, institutions, I think that's going to kind of like open up the door, and we'll have like that avalanche of other businesses that are willing to do business with Dogecoin. But we just have to make sure that we put up the numbers so that we can, be attractive enough to attract those other businesses. Let's see. Do you have any idea as a community what we could do to help promote acceptance to places like Walmart? I say just tag them on like Twitter and stuff like that. So I think repetition kind of gets their attention. So I think that'll kind of be like the best way to kind of get Walmart's attention. So just kind of make sure that it has a public placement. So at least at some point they'll address it. Let's see. Why can't Doge get beyond these small under $1 amounts when you have crap coins like Bitcoin Lite, which ain't about $100, and tons of other coins no one's ever heard of. So right now what's going on in the market, and this is just my opinion, I believe there's shiny object syndrome going on in the market. Most of the new investors that are in crypto right now are in crypto because of Dogecoin. They either got involved in the market because of the explosion and in the mass marketing that was happening around the time Dogecoin blew up, or they were in Dogecoin and they simply gave up and moved on. So typically you'll have these new coins or coins that have different, marketing around them, that people will start bouncing money around, between them. If it has like 5 zeros in front of it, they'll be like, hey, put $20 in this coin, get 50 billion coins. We're going to drop 2 zeros and you're going to be rich. So you have people that are, chasing that because, we're trying to recreate last year pretty much, right? So you'll have this disbursement of cash that is a lot thinner than it was last year. And because people have, either been in Dogecoin or frustrated with Dogecoin, they are looking to recreate those types of gains, but it's happening, elsewhere. But like I said, just kind of be I think that patience will be rewarded because I mentioned this in my purge video. I strongly believe that a lot of the coins that we see now or that people are talking about now are not going to be here in a few years, especially if the Fed tightens the way, if like let's say inflation, we have the highest inflation in like 4 decades. If the Fed really tightens this market and that liquidity and stuff like that dries up, you're going to see how fast these cryptos disappear. You're and there's a lot of people that are going to be hurt. That were out here with these like to the moon and pumping these coins. These that have who don't have like community in the 4 aspects that we talk about. There's a lot of people out here that's going to be hurt. So I say that when it comes down to the crypto, even if we're before the boom in Dogecoin, patience pays off, right? Just really just be patient. We are on the cusp of literally a change to the market. Most people here have not experienced bear markets or cycles and stuff like that before, and it's really going to be felt on this change that we have coming up here. So just really just be, I know it's frustrating, but just really just be patient and make sure that you're doing your due diligence, and you'll be able to capitalize off of some of these great positions, because a lot of these people are going to lose. Unfortunately, they're going to lose all, or if not most, of their money. Like if you think you've seen rug pulls, let this liquidity in the markets and stuff like that, let these gas prices go up, let this inflation keep going. You think you've seen rug pulls. You're going to see a lot more of them. Target is up there. Yeah, Target would be great too. Do you think a dog meme on the Dogecoin is causing fast food adoption and hesitation? Isn't that just waiting to happen, dog meat? No, I don't think that's a reason for it. I just think it's just new, and people are just unsure of it, and they don't want to go through the trouble of accepting something that's not going to be at least rewarding for them. So I think that's why we have to make sure that all of the people that are giving Doge the opportunity, we make sure that they're successful, so that we can take down some of that hesitation in other businesses. Because trust me, all businesses are the same. They want to make money, right? That's not like, they don't care if it's a dog or a penguin on there, a hawk. It makes no difference. If they know for sure that they bring Dogecoin in there, the Dogecoin community is going to show up and they're going to make a bunch of money, they will accept Dogecoin. The only question is they're unsure of that now. So once we remove that hesitation by showing support to the ones that are working with us, we're going to get more opportunities. So that's not going to be an issue. Those dropped again. It'll happen. Let's see here. Hey, David, lots of YouTubers saying AMC will only run between 350 to 500 during the height of the squeeze. But from my DD and with all the FOMO, I believe AMC can reach at least a K. Your thoughts? No, that's possible. I think the biggest issue that in that conversation is stating that whether or not they're going to have the money to make those payouts, at least initially, so that you don't end up in court. And that really just comes down to how many shares are they actually available. So, because at that point you're dealing in trillions of dollars. So, I think that's the real question. So mathematically speaking, yeah, it's not, I don't see an issue with it mathematically being able to reach, into the 4 figures. But the question is, will you be able to collect your money? So, I'm not necessarily saying that it'll only run between 350 and 500, but we also have to look at what has happened in the squeeze plays or the plays that have ran this year, or at least in 2021. We saw massive manipulation, and we saw these halts for hours. We saw these, hold on, let me block this webcams guy out of my chat. Sorry. Okay. So we saw these halts for hours, and it would be, let's say the stock was $10, and then they'll be like, oh, they'll put a notice up, this stock has extreme volatility, and then it gets halted for 2 hours, then it comes back live, and it's $4 now, and I'm like, well, who in the hell sold if the stock was halted? Just these type of manipulations. So you just have to be kind of like prepared for that. So it's kind of hard to say what their actual price will reflect during this moment, but you just kind of have to be prepared for that. Make sure that you have the positions that you're going to take profits on that are a little more spread out. So don't just, in my opinion, I say don't just shoot for those bigger numbers because you may end up getting screwed. Just definitely leave some on the table, but don't bet everything on that, especially if you're picking something up for $15 and selling it at 300. Like, don't get greedy because you can't time the top. Just be strategic, right? You either leave some money on the table or you get left on the table. So nobody gets 100%. That's not how it works. Let's see. And if these downs, whales will stop taking all the profits every time we get a pump. Damn, give us a break. Also, Jeff Bezos, hasn't he stepped down for Amazon, which will open doors? I mean, you can step down, but it doesn't necessarily mean you lose your influence, right? So, kind of like Jeff can step down from Amazon, doesn't mean he's lost his influence over Amazon. Bill Gates can step down from Microsoft. Influence can still be there. Papa John, whatever his name is, from Papa John's Pizza, influence is still there. You don't have to hold a position to, even be like an owner or just simply have influence over the direction of the coin or the coin over the company that is going. So, it can potentially open doors, but again, I still believe Jeff has a lot of control over what happens regardless of his title. So I don't think that that's something that can happen right now. Let's see, David, did you get my messages on Instagram about getting emails sorted? I don't know. I have to check. I think I wrote you back last night. I'll check though. If this is who I think it is, I'll check. What's up, David? Hello. Let's see. Thank you so very much, David. Love your videos. Mainly watch you and Matt Wallace. Final Stand is a great channel. Love what both you guys do for our community. Thank you. Let's see. I believe it was for 250 members Zoom call going over the books and facts. Yeah. Okay. I know who you are. My email. Oh, yeah. I'll put it in the chat. I'll probably change it because I made it for last year, but it's nofluff2021@gmail. So I just put it in the chat for you. Everyone hit the like. Yes, hit the like button. I appreciate all of you. Let's see. What is your thoughts on the war brewing over in Russia and the imminent effect on crypto? Yeah, I mean, panic overall, as far as for in the market, because the thing about it is, I think that because even when people were like, "Oh my God, you're covering politics and stuff like that on the channel," I'm not covering politics, or I'm not here to try and sway anybody to be Democrat or Republican or whatever. That's not my purpose of my channel. But for me, when I share information, I can't pretend like I don't factor certain events in, right? And I believe it's incredibly ignorant to ignore macro events and the effects that they have on the market, considering most of the money in the market is not retail's money. I am a retailer. So when you look at crypto, crypto peaked this year at like 3.3 trillion. Not retailers' money, right? The stock market on average is worth $100 trillion, not retail's money. So when I look at a Russia or Ukraine type of situation, I have to factor in, okay, if these institutions or people or just whales that make up the majority of these funds in these accounts or these ETFs, if they were to sense panic in the market and they were to sell and move something into like a bond or some type of security where they want a guaranteed return until things kind of smooth out or bottom out. What does the market look like? These are the questions I ask myself. I do think that it, when you have, especially something like crypto, we see in the stock market as well. We'll see like when we have this imminent effect of fear in the market, of just uncertainty, people typically will go to something to kind of like hedge against those losses, or even just, even if it's just slightly above inflation, they're like, hell, that's better than me losing money and all this uncertainty or risking it when I know there's so many negative catalysts coming up. So I do believe that it's going to have an effect on crypto. To what degree, I don't know. It depends on how bad things get. Same thing with the feds. I don't know. It really just depends on the aggressiveness that they take or what some of the reports that they release. They've been very careful with their words. The administration has been very careful with their words, Russia and stuff like that. I think that, they're aware of the markets and how sensitive they are. But the best thing we can do is, in my opinion, is what I've been telling everyone all along: negative catalysts that are out there. And we have to make sure that we're in position to just capitalize off of some of these entries. So, even outside of that, it's not a matter of going to the moon even then, because even if you get, and which is, I think I need to probably just go over that, because that's the other side of having great entries. You still have to be patient, because you're still going to have to wait on things to turn around. You have a great entry. Let's say you do get Dogecoin at 6 cents, or Bitcoin at 20 grand, or I don't know, hell, just give out examples. Apple at $100, whatever. Okay, fine, great entry. Now you have to wait until the market turns around. So you have to, that may be 2022, maybe 2023. We have to, this really just depends on how bad things get. But for Doge and giving a prediction, or even on any of the markets, it's kind of difficult to give an idea as far as for how high they're going to go with the uncertainty in the market. I can't chart anything that has to do with Russia and Ukraine. I have roughly an idea with the feds. So that's why I gave like the numbers for Bitcoin and Doge. But ultimately, we're going to have to wait for those numbers to come out. Otherwise, I just be giving out random like nonsense and stuff like that. So we're going to have to wait on those numbers to come out, and whatever happens with Russia, Ukraine, or ultimately our involvement. But you got American flag in your thing, so I'm assuming you're American as well. So, our involvement, that is, that's TBD. So, but I do know it will have an effect. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on that and make sure that we have some cash ready to capitalize off of these movements. 100 likes. There we go. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Let's see. So do I have to be scared of my Doge? Just keep holding. I don't need the money or anything. Yeah, I mean, if you can hold, if you're long term, that's not an issue at all. So, I think most people get into trouble trying to time the market than they do by holding. Most people literally lose money by just simply trying to time it, or basically trying to trade it. And especially now, they'll start trying to trade it or get impatient, shiny object syndrome, and that's typically how you end up losing money. So, holding or, adding to your position, coin count, stuff like that, it'll be a lot more difficult for you to lose money. Let's see. Can we expect a general bear market till Bitcoin's next halving event in 2024? It's really difficult. Like, I can't. Like, I'm really just going to have to. I know I said this like 3 times tonight, but I'm really going to have to see these numbers from the feds. Otherwise, I'm just putting complete speculation out there, and I do not like to do that. I don't like to fill you guys with hopium, and I'm not going to be like to the moon and stuff like that. I have to have some evidence behind what I say, and if I don't have it, I will let you know I don't have it. So as of right now, I don't have the evidence to accurately answer that question. So we're just going to have to wait and see. I'll have some more concrete information around mid-March, though. That's for sure. Let's see. I always like your videos, even the boring ones. You have my respect and support. Much love from Big John, brother. I appreciate you. Let's see. Hi, David. Hi, good day, David. I'm new to this crypto investment. Anyway, loving your information you share here. When should I start investing in Dogecoin? Now? Yeah, now's not a bad entry for Doge. Especially if we get the breakdown to a lower, not a bad entry for Doge at all. So I wouldn't be upset with Dogecoin at all for that. So if you're new, yeah, I wouldn't consider this a bad call for Doge. Let's see. Having the market's always done good after an invasion by the military. Yeah, I mean, typically you'll have, well, it just depends. But typically you'll see the fear kind of get pushed in first. But I'm not going to lie, as most people know, war is profitable. So, you'll spend a lot of money, but as far as for like economic reasons and stuff like that, like if everybody, you start converting factories to make tanks and stuff like that. This is just based off history. I know it's a little different now, but you can certainly turn an economy around. I'll say that. So it'll be interesting to see how the market reacts now, especially since the last time we had to do anything like that. We have a lot more things that are streamlined now that are not necessarily as dependent on us being hands-on. But we'll see. We'll see. So do you think when people get their tax returns, will that have any effect on the market in crypto? Yeah. No, I'm expecting a decent bounce there. Nothing to change the trajectory, but I'm expecting a decent, it's potential. I'll say it's a potential to have a bounce there. Certainly. Let's see. Everyone stop writing so David can see my messages. Oh, what did you say? I see this message. uh, let's see. Much props on your videos. You're doing a great job. I stopped following 4 other analysts once they started making stupid faces on their videos. Yeah, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. I'm gonna post about not that, but on my video because people were commenting like, "Oh, this guy stole your video," stuff like that. And that it happens, but you'll be surprised if you look at the Ukraine and Russia videos now, like just like 2 or 3 days ago, it was to the moon. You gotta. That's why I said be careful where you get your information from. Just be careful because it's a lot of people out here who, in my opinion, did not even have a brokerage account prior to Dogecoin, but they have YouTube channels to try and capitalize or extract from the market. And it's going to be very, very dangerous going forward. So just be careful where you get your information from, because I can tell just by looking at some of the crap that people send me from people that I feel like they got involved at the same time as everyone else. And this is like literally their first rodeo, and they're kind of just grasping for straws to put out content to get clicks. So just be careful. Thank you. Press the like and subscribe button, everyone. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. 100% love, bro. I appreciate it. Let's see, which metaverse coin do you prefer and why? Was it Manu? Like that's pretty much like one of the only ones that I'm invested into, but I have I've invested in like a couple of weeks into that, but I put a decent amount of money in there. So those are one of the ones that I got at a great price, but I haven't expanded my reach on that just yet. I have to do more research. I'm more of a deep versus wide person, so I'll typically, once I do my research, I'll focus more so on coin counts versus just having 30 in this sector or something like that. So the webcam's chat guy is back, so I'll block him again. Hold on. All right. Let's see. So do you think Doge will break down under the 12-cent floor? It's possible, but we're going to need a major catalyst to do so, because 12 has been holding up really, really well. Oh, I never remember. Let me turn it back to Doge. Because 12 is not, yeah, 12 has been holding up really well. So, um, typically we get like these really strong rejections around there. So I don't, as of right now, I'd just say it would take a really, really big negative catalyst to try and get us down below that. But I would have to really see. I think the lowest we've got, at least from the rejection side, was like a 12.5. So it's not impossible, but we're going to need something major going on, I guess, with like Russia and Ukraine, or some big bad news from the Fed. Like, Powell comes out on the 16th of next month. Inflation's out of control. We're about to lose everything. We're doing 0.5% the rest of the year or something like that. And then, yeah, definitely we can probably see that breakdown there just from people, rebalancing portfolios. But as of right now, 12 is holding. 12 is holding. I'm bullish on Doge. Very bullish. Very, very. I'm excited. As long as we keep doing these catalysts and knocking these the support out of the park, I'm bullish for Doge. David explained to our community the importance of cost and dollar averaging down is. I effed up big time on SNL Nightmare. I had 120K on 35K investment. I didn't DCA. DCA is important. Just because I just believe in giving yourself leverage. So when you have the opportunity of, being in a coin, as far as where you're going to hold it, or whether that's long term, or if you're simply trying to trade it, what you want is cushion. So, that's one of the reasons why I made a video. It's on my homepage if you want to look at the proper way to DCA, and I give you the percentage ranges and stuff like that. But it's one of the reasons why you don't buy every dip. So I know it's common practice, buy the dip. A coin goes down 2%, you buy the dip, and now your DCA is roughly the same as far as what it was, and you're still in the red. Versus if you have a little bit more patience, you can move that DCA down and actually hold your position and be in the green and give yourself leverage. That way, if you need to take a profit, you can. Or if you, it's not, if you need to rebalance or move your money around, you're not necessarily taking a loss because you're holding in the red, or every time the coin gets a green candle, you get FOMO and move your DCA up. So, just, patience and stuff like that, but it will certainly help you. But again, I have a video on my home channel, on my home page that goes over the proper way to DCA. So David, have you heard of Hex Coin? I have. I've spoken to a few people that was actually supposed to. I'm doing some research and stuff on it, but they actually want me to do an interview with Richard. So I have heard of Hex, but I'm still doing research on it. Let's see. Are there a lot of odds against Doge? Since people that control the world don't want it to do well. Yeah, there's a lot of. We can see evidence of that anytime Doge hits like 20 cents or so. People want Doge to. I'll say certain people in high places do not like. Well, not I won't say high places. Just with a lot of money, they don't want Doge to succeed. So, that's just something we're gonna have to keep an eye on. So that's one of the reasons why I hope we're able to get the momentum with AMC, because I want us to come up and test that 22 cents level again. Let's see. Evening Dave, doing a great job. Went bonkers on Doge in the early days. Many have mentioned this a few times. Still buying the dips. What are your thoughts on Doge line? Doge line has the opportunity to be a cash grab. I put it in my top 5 opportunities to make money this year. I'm not long in it, but it's the opportunity to do a cash grab. So I don't hate Doge line, but I'm not long in it either. So I wouldn't put a substantial amount of money in there, but it's the opportunity for you to make some money. I will say that. Out of all the YouTubers talking out there, you're the only one to trust and a worthy voice I've heard. Thank you. I appreciate you, Joe. Let's see. Any opinions on energy stocks now that the pipeline to Germany through Ukraine, I believe, has been canceled? Yeah. No, I think that especially if this pops off, energy is going to do really, really well. Like in 2020 and stuff like that, I made a fortune on like Whiting and all that kind of stuff, and Whiting and Marathon. I do own Exxon, but that's just because of dividends, and I just love Exxon. I think Exxon is it's just one of my outside of dividends. It's one of my coins that I don't believe. It's not coins. Oh my god, talk about crypto too much. It's one of my stocks where I believe that outside of like Armageddon or like World War III or something like that, it's going to be fine. So, energy stocks I am fond of because if this keeps escalating, we will see oil over $100 a barrel. So, looking at energy stocks certainly not a bad idea to diversify and get into. Like I said, I made especially when COVID hit. This is how you take advantage of like opportunities and stuff like that. I was getting obviously whiting was like pennies on the dollar. Marathon, I want to say I got in at like $3. So so when you see these types of catalysts going on, definitely something to look at. So yeah, you're right on the head. You're hitting it right on the head with the energy stocks for sure. Um, let's see what makes institutions sell their coins or buy in. Buying in, I definitely believe interest and community is something that they look for because they're going to need someone. They're going to need other money in there besides their own. So because they can pump a coin, it's just like using those little trading apps that mirror or like this, the starts flashing signals and stuff like that for you to invest. They can pump a coin and gain interest, right? But or pump a coin that is already growing and gain interest, but they're ultimately going to need community inside of that coin if they're going to take profits, or even if they want to do it gradually, they're going to need community to come in and kind of hold it up while they take profits. But ultimately, I mean, typically when it comes to buying in, it's just for profit. We've seen like Gary Gensler and stuff say that the crypto market is the Wild West because of the ease that of the ease and the speed at which money can be injected and retracted out of the market. So don't get me wrong, institutions coming off the shortest bear market in history. The crypto market pretty much tripling its net worth in about 18 months. No, these institutions made an absolute fortune in crypto. So it's just that, at the same time, these to the moon statements and stuff like that is on the retail side, they are, they're going to have their spreads, their algorithmic trading, and they're going to take profits, right? To the moon. So I know there's something we probably have to discuss as a retail community, but to the moon, what is that exactly? Like, what number is to the moon, right? So these institutions, when they come in, they have their spreads, their again algorithmic trading. They know the percentage spreads that they want. They know they have targets. When they hit targets, they execute. They're not. It's not an emotional. It's not like an emotional thing, or you got like a million people all in there saying to the moon, and when we know good and well that everybody's moon is different, so I think that when you say why do they sell, they're taking profits. I just believe that it affects the market in such a way that A, because they do have a lot of money, but B, because there's no emotions attached in that. They're not waiting for the coin to try and pump it up to the next thing. They're more so move in unison. They have, even if you're looking at stocks and stuff like that, they have stop losses, they have hedges against their losses in there. So that's one of the reasons, like, oh my God, it dumped. Yeah, that could have been one institution or one whale that took profits at $3, for example. But because the other funds and stuff had stop losses, or they moved their hedges up at 275, 250 and stuff like that. So now you're just triggering all these different these sell-offs. So now it just gives the illusion, oh my God, it sold off at the same time. No, these people are organized, and they hedge their profits so that they're not taking losses. If that would have been institutions, would work like that. If that would have been retails on the retail side, even if it dipped down 2%, you'd have seen 1,000 YouTubers buy the dip, and that's how you get suckered in, and you're baiting up the floor to get slaughtered. So I just think it's just more it's more organized on the institution side when they sell or the reasons that they buy in. But ultimately, it's the same thing. They're looking to make money, but it's just that they're more organized in how they do it. So I hope that makes sense. I know that I kind of went on the rampage there, but I hope that makes sense to you. Let's see. Catching up here. Let's see. Y'all are killing me with these Matt Wallace questions. Oh my God. Let's see. To the moon, infinity, and beyond. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Good night. I wanted to thank you for the work you do and the support for the currency. Thanks for the support. No problem. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. So you said you like ExxonMobil. I actually work for ExxonMobil, Shell, Chevron, was it Conoco, Phillips, Marathon Mobile, a damn good oil stock. Too late in the game, but next time all crashes, those will be the stocks to buy into. Actually, the ETFs, guys. Yeah. No, I've had Exxon for quite some time. I bought Exxon, most of my energy stocks. I made a video. This was, I want to say, I know it was during COVID, but this is when the country was pretty much still shut down. And I made a video of stocks I'll never sell just because of the prices that I got them at. Like it was like Apple, Exxon, Delta, a bunch of these really, really big corporations that I caught at absolute steals that I'm up tremendously today in. So yeah, but Exxon is this one, definitely one of my favorites, just simply because of the dividends and the sheer massiveness of it. So I don't consider that a speculative investment. But yeah, I'm definitely a fan of Exxon. I'm really good. Well, I guess I want to ask you what do you do there? Because I was just being curious. But yeah, it's great to hear that you work there, though. I'm sure those benefit packages are amazing. Let's see. I'll take one more question. I know I said 30 minutes. See, I said 30 minutes, and I was on here in another hour. So I've been buying these ADA dips. I feel anything under $1 is a good price. No, I agree. I think ADA is going to do really well. I have no issues with ADA right now. None. I think ADA is going to do really well. Let's see. I'll say, oh yeah, definitely like the video, subscribe, share it with a friend. I'm trying to. I just want to put like more real information out there so that everyone can, just make informed decisions. I'll say that. I just want to be a part of relaying reliable information, not hopium, not what I want. My emotions. I don't come on here to cry and tell you guys my feelings for the coin. I typically back up how I feel either with macro events or with micro events. I try and leave my emotions out of it so that you guys can make informed decisions. So I hope that is useful for everyone, and I hope that you guys are finding value. So, but with that, definitely like, subscribe, share the video. Thank you for all your time tonight, and I will see you guys in the next video. So no video tonight, just want to do the Q&A. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Have a good night, everyone.